Welcome to the DoubleACS Daily News. The City of Attleboro has negotiated a new contract with Waste Management that has brought some changes in how residents can dispose of bulk items. We spoke with the mayor to learn more.
The city entered into a new contract with Waste Management, and I signed that back in February, well before the City Council had voted on the rate. There was a good reason for that, because the new contract is going to be delivering these new 35-gallon barrels to residents who are part of the program all over the city. So that's about 14,000 homes throughout the city participate in this program. And these 35-gallon barrels are slightly larger than the average size barrel right now, and these are going to take the place of the existing barrels. So that's one of the different changes. A lot of people wanted to see something more uniform and more standard, and this is something that Waste Management also recommended because it's a savings to them, and if it's a savings to them, these barrels also help keep the cost down to the ratepayer. The new trash barrels we expect to be rolling out in the next several months. Those will be delivered to people's homes, and if people have any concerns with those, if they break or anything, they should just contact the rubbish administrator at City Hall. People will be able to dispose of their old trash barrels if they would like at no cost. We worked that out with Waste Management, so if people didn't want to keep one of their old black trash barrels around, then they can dispose of that at no cost. One of the ways we wanted to try and keep our rate down for the average payer is changing the bulk item. That is now going to be $29 per bulk item. Previously, people were able to put out one bulk item per week, and they could do that every week of the year. We reason that most people are not putting out 52 items to the street every week at a cost of something that's wrapped into the contract. This is a service that was being provided that was also being abused by a lot of people throughout the surrounding neighborhood, surrounding communities, and people in Attleboro were allowing people to bring stuff from outside of Attleboro to be disposed of here because our program was a lot more generous. But that was coming at a cost. It was about $200,000, actually closer to $250,000. And that was something Waste Management wanted to continue charging us. But again, this is something that most people don't put out one bulk item per week. So now it's $29 per item, and that's something for like a sofa or very like a table. Those are very large items. If people can't fit something into the 35-gallon barrel or into one of the city trash bags, we have a couple of suggestions. One of them is that they should try and break up whatever that item is. They could also try to repurpose it or donate it. There are a number of things that people can do to be creative as a way to dispose of the bulk items that might not fit in the barrel or in a bag on the first pass. Again, breaking things up or donating them are two ideas that we strongly encourage. Attleboro trash bags are still available to be purchased for $2 each, and that is something that you can buy at sometimes CVS or Stop and Shop. I think Market Basket sells them. Certainly you can go to City Hall. The health department has those trash bags for sale, and if people can't fit everything into the 35-gallon barrel, then purchasing a trash bag for $2 each is another way to go. One of the concerns that some people have brought to my attention is they think that this is going to lead to a lot of illegal dumping on the sides of the roads here in Attleboro, and I don't think that's going to be too much of a concern. I think that happens already to a limited degree. The reason I don't think it's going to happen much more than it is already happening is because it's really not going on in other communities. So other communities don't offer one item per week, and they don't see sofas all over the place on the side of the road. So I don't worry too much about that concern. I think it's a valid point to bring up, but again, we don't see that happening in other places. The way that people would pay for the bulk item disposal is they would actually be reaching out directly to Waste Management. The city would no longer be the middle person, and again, the reason we did that was to keep down the overall rate. The trash program is financed two different ways. One of them is through the general fund, and the other one is through the revolving account. The revolving account is paid for by the ratepayer. That's when you have a bill, a trash and recycling bill, and you pay directly into that. The other one is just your basic property taxes that pay for city services. One of the ways we kept the budget to help be balanced this year in a tough economic year was we shifted a lot more of the costs for the program onto the rate that people are paying away from property taxes. So the effect of that is basically that if you are a user of the trash and recycling program, you're paying for it with your own bill, and businesses and homes that are not part of the trash and recycling program are no longer going to be paying for it or subsidizing the people who are. People are allowed to opt out of the trash and recycling program, and therefore they wouldn't have to pay for the $234 a year that it costs. That's always somebody's option. However, I believe that with the contract that the city has negotiated, and it took about 18 months to negotiate this, and there was multiple parties involved, the contract that we have come to is a very service-rich contract, which allows for a lot of things that a lot of communities don't have. One of the differences between Attleboro and a lot of other communities is the cost of our recycling program. We're paying $90 per ton under this new contract. A lot of other places around us are paying $100 or $115 per ton, and some places in Massachusetts are paying as much as $150 per ton. So we were able to keep the cost of recycling down by doing a lot of the other things we did within the contract. Again, this is a very service-rich contract for what people are paying. They're getting far more than a lot of the surrounding communities for a less rate.